All right, good morning. Have you heard the words, it's cancer, and it's not you, it's your child? Good morning. Have you heard the words, it's cancer, and it's not you, it's your child or loved one? I'm Andrea Richmond, anchor woman here at Love Beyond the Diagnosis, author of a memoir, Love Beyond Scope, and founder of the Courage Bear Project. Here we broadcast hope and dial into real stories of families navigating life after a cancer diagnosis. Is my camera not on? No, it's on. We're just having a little difficulty. There we go.
I hadn't switched over to it yet.
Okay, awesome.
We're good.
Now my camera's on. All right, here we broadcast hope and dial into real stories of families navigating life after a cancer diagnosis. You'll find encouragement, storytelling, and educational support, conversations with moms who know firsthand the life beyond the diagnosis, dialogue from leading voices who are making an impact on the standard of care for pediatric cancers. And you also find resources rooted in faith to help you breathe, rise, and thrive in the middle of it all. Because mama, you are not alone. I'm Andrea Richmond, and this is Love Beyond the Diagnosis, a place for mothers who have just stepped into the unimaginable. If you missed an episode, be sure to go back and check us out on YouTube and Instagram at Love Beyond the Diagnosis. Please like and follow me, Andrea Richmond, on my Facebook page for more updates as I continue to post information about my mission to serve mothers, caregivers, and their children navigating life beyond the cancer diagnosis. In the first 13 weeks of Love Beyond the Diagnosis, we're on week 11, by the way, I'll be sharing 13 letters of hope. And these are messages that are spoken straight to the heart of every mama and family walking this difficult road. Each episode is a reminder that you are not alone. Here, you'll hear a voice of love, honest conversation, and encouragement to keep going, all found in the beauty of community and connection with one another. So my 11th letter to you today from Other Side Publishing is about doing life after the diagnosis with a coach or mentor. And what I wished I knew on day one, diagnosis day, about life coaches and mentoring. So without any further pause or time going by, I write this letter to you this morning, Mama. And the first thing that has come to mind when I was thinking about today and about life mentoring and coaching is back in 2002, before I had any children, my husband and I, both of us, met with our pediatrician. And at that point in our lives, we lived in Burlington, Vermont. And my husband was a resident in training to become a pathologist. And the local pediatrician there met with every parent and mother before they would give birth to their children. And I felt very blessed to meet this man. His name was Dr. Land. And so months before our oldest daughter, Sydney, was born, our first child, we met in his office and he sat us down and we were sitting across from his, big mahogany desk, and my husband and I were sitting there side by side, and he sat with us and began to ask us a few questions about, our plans for the future and how we imagined, that life would go after our first child was born. And we talked about things from, what I was planning on going back to work as a teacher to, was I planning on nursing, to any questions that we had about anything related to life after our child would be born. And the one thing that really has always stuck out in my mind is the fact that after we got done with this discussion, and there were things that we couldn't answer at that time about how we believed, what we thought. We were unsure about many things. But I just remember him saying to both my husband and myself, parenting is an awesome responsibility. And I had no idea, right? I hadn't birthed this child yet. I didn't even know if she was going to be a girl or a boy. And so it's always really stuck in my mind, him sitting there and telling us just in the few simple words that parenting is an awesome responsibility. And he assured us that Jeff and I, would learn and embark on this journey. And it's, one of the most amazing experiences. But what we didn't know at that time is that Sydney, within 3 years of that meeting, after moving back to Pennsylvania, that, her and her younger sister would both be diagnosed with cancer. So when I think about this, I think about the fact that at that point, we didn't understand that with that responsibility, there was going to be a village. And it wasn't just Jeff and I's responsibility to raise this child, but our children, but it would take a village. It would take, extended parents, us as parents and grandparents and friends and family. And so when Lauren was diagnosed with cancer, that village, of course, began to expand. And for every family who has a child diagnosed with cancer, that village expands because you spend an unbelievable amount of time with people that you never expected to meet. And that includes the doctors, the nurses, the hospital staff, child life. There's family and friends and community members and complete strangers that do come into your life and want to support you on this journey, support your family, support your child. What I didn't have on this journey, and I wished I had on day one, and what this letter is all about to you, is that I would have loved to have had someone outside of my immediate zone, my immediate circle, who could walk with me in an unbiased, non-judgmental place where I could be connected with a community, because when you're at the hospital, you're not necessarily connected with moms who are raising children who have children with cancer. And back in 2006, when Lauren was diagnosed, there was no such thing as a life coach. And it's awesome, right, that today people are out there creating communities and allowing women and mothers and caregivers to come together in community and talk about their wins, their struggles, what's going on in their life, where is their, what do they think, what are their thoughts, what are their feelings. Oh man, that's one of the big ones, like talking about our feelings, like as we navigate this, because as humans, we don't talk enough about our feelings, to tell you the truth. And talking about our feelings is part of the process of becoming better and transforming along the way. And on day one, I believed I had to figure it out by myself inside my nuclear family and extended family. All the emotional challenges, all the physical challenges, all the spiritual challenges that come with a cancer diagnosis and in your child, because it is a real thing. I experienced it myself. I know many women that I've talked to, mothers that have children diagnosed with cancer. We all faced very similar paths as far as, what day one looked like and how we felt, and our change in our life, like from before the diagnosis versus after the diagnosis. And what I know now is that no mother or caregiver of a child who is diagnosed with cancer is designed to carry this responsibility alone or figure it out alone. And a life coach doesn't remove the diagnosis, right? Like it doesn't. Like this is there, it doesn't go away. But a life coach is there to walk with you while you face it. And let's set one thing straight here. Coaching doesn't give you all the answers. It allows you to have an awareness of your thoughts and those thoughts that create feelings, and feelings that you might not be able to put into words if you're not articulating them in a community setting. And of course, we now know and always have known, but it's becoming more talked about, but these feelings lead to action. And we know that our feelings are real, and our feelings have to be talked about in order to, if there's certain ones that you're telling yourself, there's certain thoughts that you're telling yourself that are creating feelings that God doesn't want us to think about, or he doesn't want us to be burdened with, then through coaching and through life mentoring, we're able to come to the other side of those feelings and live more fully beyond the diagnosis. So when I think about a life coach, um, you know, for me, I think about a life coach that would lead first and foremost in love. Um, it means they would ask me, how does God want me to live in this circumstance? And what does God know about what I'm going through right now? And this coach would lead with compassion, faithfulness, and humility. I would hope that this coach would help set intentions and help reclaim identity, help me manage the emotional overload that goes along with learning your child has cancer and walking in that journey. And this coach would reconnect me with community, because the journey you walk in the hospital and, transitioning, like I've talked about before, transitioning from home to hospital, you lose connection with community. And today, which is different than, 2006 and 2007 after Sydney was diagnosed, we have the ability to connect online and community. And, a life coach isn't there to tell you what to do, but they bring out what you already have within you, that love that resides inside of you. And they can help you design a future, even in the midst of the crisis. They don't take it away. They help you navigate through it with grace and peace and joy and just a more abundant life filled with blessings. So, why does every mom need a life coach, right? So these are some of the things they can do. Why would you deserve this life coach, or why would you need this life coach? A life coach can bring you to find clarity amid uncertainty, give you permission to use your voice and find out what's inside of you. Find that hope. And one of the things that I feel is very important is, rebuilding yourself, your identity, and how you can live and thrive and rise every day after this diagnosis. So let's talk about some of the things of what a life coach can help mothers and caregivers. Some practical things here. One thing I would love to have heard on day one is somebody should have asked me what's in your control and what's not, because I needed to hear that. Like, the circumstance that I was living was never meant to be in my control and never will be, and never. But when we're in the situation, it's very easy to want to seek control of everything. And so I believe firmly that the transformation that could come with having a life coach would be first and foremost is identifying what's in your control and what's not in your control. The second thing I can offer today is that reframing from I can't do this or this is too much to I can learn how to do this. I can learn how to do this better every day, because it's not going to be perfect on day one. But you can learn how to become better in this walk, in this life. And on that journey, I would hope that you would be able to develop emotional resilience and tools for when you do have those times of fear, and you learning how to recognize it when it creeps in and what you do to navigate through it, or to not let it be in the driver's seat, as we talked about in one of the first episodes of Love Beyond the Diagnosis. And then another practical reason to have a life coach is to walk with someone who can help you create routines that restore your strength, not drain it. Because it's very easy to fall into going and doing things that don't build your strength but drain you. And to identify those things that create strength in you and create resilience in you would be a reason to also have a life coach. So if you are listening today and thinking, I just need someone to walk with me, I'm tired of being strong by myself, or you're looking for someone outside of your direct circle of family and friends who will be non-judgmental, who will bring to the table an ear for you to speak into, and they will listen as you process what you're going through, because each one of us goes through different things in this journey, and the only way to process is to begin talking about it, thinking about it, because like I said, our thoughts create feelings, our feelings create action, and that action you want to be in the positive direction. You want it to be for growth. You don't want this diagnosis and this new normal to bring harm to you. It's not meant to harm you. Cancer is not meant to harm you and your family. It's meant to grow you. It's meant to change you. It's meant to transform you in new ways. And so I am offering a free 30-minute Zoom mentoring call to any mother or caregiver who needs encouragement, emotional support, practical resources, or help finding moments of rest and respite again. And so you can find me at AndreaRichmondCoaching.com. You could text me at 814-983-9351, which is at Other Side Publishing. Other Side Publishing is the place where courage, coaching, and community connect to broadcast hope. And I just am so looking forward to meeting anyone who's called to have a life coach during their walk after having a child diagnosed with cancer. Whether you're a caregiver or your mother, or you're someone that just needs support after that diagnosis. Maybe you're a grandmother and you have a grandchild. Other Side Publishing's Gold Ribbon Mom Mentoring Program is here for you. And we want to walk with you after this diagnosis. And we want to be there for you. There's no pressure. There's no fixing. There's no judgment, just presence, support, and someone who understands the road you're walking. You don't have to have the right words. You don't even have to know what you need yet. You only need to show up as you are. And I just encourage you to schedule your free call today through the link in our show notes. And we'll meet you on Zoom, face-to-face, heart-to-heart, because Mama, you are not meant to survive this alone. You deserve support in your strength and in your struggle. And there is still so much life waiting for you beyond the diagnosis. So thank you for joining me on Love Beyond the Diagnosis. I'm your host, Andrea Richmond, cancer mom, life coach, publisher, and your companion on this journey. Every week, we'll bring you tools to anchor your faith, insight from experts, and real stories from moms just like you. Subscribe and share this episode with someone who needs a little hope today. And remember, you don't have to be fearless to be faithful. Love Beyond the Diagnosis, where faith meets the fight.